Right, so we're here at the Synthony booth with Bastien.
Hey,
Hey, man. Yeah, Super Booth 2024. What have you brought to the show?
so this year I brought, so what I'm doing here is video synthesis, analog video synthesis and processing. And the new thing I'm showing this year is a Cadran. So it's a triple VCA crossfader and ring modulator. And maybe I can show you directly how it works. So as in audio, like a VCA, in audio it will put the volume down to 0, and in video it will act as a fade to black. So right now we're only monitoring the red channel from the camera, but let's patch the green and the blue. So right now,
Looks like we're going to be the start of this video, right?
oh yeah. And so yeah, the module has 3 channel, aim to process RGB, but then they can also be used separately. And so when there's only a single signal plugged in one of the 2 inputs, it acts as a VCA, as I was showing earlier, so it can fade to black. But it can also be used as a crossfader. And once something is plugged into the second input, this is an analog video synthesizer and processor. Right now we are processing an existing signal, but it can also generate shapes. And so right now we have a diamond shape, and I can mix other shape with it to get some different gradients. And so, of course, it's modular, so we can use the CB inputs to modulate the crossfading. And right now we are modulating at LFO rate, so it will fade between the video inputs and the external video from the camera, as well as the patterns generated by the synth.
Okay.
And then, yeah, if we increase the frequency, we'll start seeing both signal being faded to each other that way. Then I can also instead use a shape to do the fading. And so let's take the box output. So now it's like a square that does it. I mean, it's a linear signal, so the fading is gradual. But I can use a comparator. So it will take a linear signal and produce a logic signal at the output. And so now we are doing keying. So instead of gradually fading, we'll be switching from one to the other, like on a hard edge. Then once again, I can modulate the
Cool. That's really cool.
threshold over the comparator, and then it will make the square go big, small, big.
Great. And how many modules are you using in your setup to achieve this?
Right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then, yeah, I can go back to a simpler patch. Because, yeah, I think the bare minimum would be 3 modules. So either a generator or a way to bring external video in the system. And so
The cameras that you're using are really interesting. This one looks like a sort of a retro home video camera.
Yeah, the advantage is that it has native analog outputs.
Yeah.
And because you could use also like more modern cameras, but then you'll need a converter to go from HDMI to analog video.
That one's really cool. That one's
And so
really
right now
cool.
we're only using 3 modules: the input module, a processor, and the output module. And because the output modules, it takes a red signal, green signal, and blue to compose the final image.
That's
and then
amazing.
And right now, on this module, we're using the linear output, but we can use the logic. And so instead of a gradient, we'll have like a
Like a
on-off
threshold.
kind of, yeah.
Like
And
a
so yeah,
threshold
it's
effect. Wow, that's really cool. And what kind of resolution is this output?
right now it's running at 1080 i50.
Oh,
so
amazing.
it's an interlace format. So once they interlace, it would be equivalent to 1080p 25 frames per second. And yeah, so it can run at HD rate, but also SD. And right now we are limited by the camera that does 1080 i50. But then if it's running as a synthesizer without any external input, you can manually set the format you want. And so, yeah, then if you're more interested by pattern generation and abstract stuff, we can use a generator instead of a external video input.
Mhm.
And then once again, can use a LFO to modulate the shapes. Or else we can also do feedback by taking one of the outputs and feeding it back to the inputs. It will start making those wiggly lines, which are kind of like a Larsen in audio when you have the sound being picked up by a microphone and the speaker, and it starts resonating.
Like a feedback loop.
Yeah, and here the feedback loop will make all those like repeating lines. And you can create like really glitchy kind of effects.
And these can all be sort of automated and
Yeah, definitely.
CV'd together. So
Yeah, right now I'm connecting the output directly to the input. But if I'm using, for example, the VCA we were talking about earlier, I'd be able to control the amount of the signal that's being fed back. And so once again, LFO to modulate it, and then we'll have the amount of feedback being controlled automatically by the external signal. And yeah, also what's interesting is taking signal from an audio modular system and an envelope or LFO or something, and have the picture moving based on the music, the content of the music. And
audio
it's,
reactive.
Yeah, and perfect for live gigs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and is that sort of your audience for these modules? Who are the people that buy these modules? Where are they being used?
Yeah, I guess a good part of them are doing live gigs and playing with musicians and doing visual in real time. Then probably a lot of people also do music videos so it's not done live, but yeah, that use the video synth. And then yeah, a lot of people also use them for abstract art that are not especially related to music and kind of like video painting, like
Installations. Things
oh
like
yeah,
that.
installation and that kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So are they all available now, and where are they available? Where can people buy them?
The Cadran and Stable, they are not available yet. They are the prototype stage, but all the Blue modules, which are mine, are available, and you can buy them from my website. I'm based in France. Then there's Schneidersladen in Germany. There's Signal Sound and Elevator Sound in the UK, and there's also Perfect Circuits and Midwest Modular in the US. And else I can ship everywhere from France. And
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for showing us modules. Really good fun. Thank you.
thanks for doing the video and have fun.